Oh heck yes, there's that now classic beautiful looking eyeball design I adore so much. Also though, Attack on Frickin' Titan! Also, ladies and gents, don't forget, drop me a comment, it really helps the video grow, as does liking it, and of course be sure to subscribe so you don't go crazy by missing part 2 when it arrives in the near future, you sane person you! There's something so inherently sad about a young lad trying to silently warn birds to fly away from the danger he's facing down on the ground. As an animal lover, I think it's what I'd do if I was half conscious or something. First person view like it's an episode of JoJo and no big deal whatsoever! Oh my god, this is so cool! Boom! Getting that instant reminder from season 3 about how these guys and girls are treated in this world hit me like a bullet from that machine gun up there just now.
俺たちが4年も戦争してるってこと覚えてるか？お前たち誰だ？4年も続いた戦争も今ようやく大詰めなんだ。
The very best kind of exposition because they give an actual reason why it's being stated rather than narration or telling someone clearly aware of it themselves.
さっきまで剣持って飛び回ってなかったか。ギューンってさ、巨人を。
To say after reading what he's saying I'm very intrigued would be the biggest understatement right here. Gorgeous bird's eye scenery shot of terrain in a fort.
パラディ島制圧作戦の主力となる鎧の巨人の継承者をね。
Hype! Well now that was an OP, and to say that their main aim was to have us visualise a season prominent with war in it would be the world's biggest understatement. Firstly, I found myself oddly enjoying the song. At first it didn't click at all, and then by the end I found myself nodding along, but the visuals were very war-orientated. I'm expecting a lot of war, and I think that's what they're aiming for. Nice OP! Just a very odd shout out here to the numbered intro. I can't believe we've been seeing these since episode 1. It feels like we've come such a long way and now we're heading towards the end. It's crazy, but it's been a really amazing journey and this intro always reminds me of that journey.
エルディア人の運命を背負い、私たちを苦しめるあの島の悪魔どもを皆殺しにする覚悟だ。
Nice short recap in the form of very light and extremely warranted exposition as we're reminded how the selection process works, that they're made to believe the people on the island are to blame for all of their problems, and how their own people are being kept in camps.
装甲列車、その先頭と最後尾に計4門乗っかってる。連合の新兵器、対巨人砲だ。
Oh, that's so good! That's so good! They've got an anti-Titan weapon!
我々は巨人の力と戦士を失い、再び巨人の力を取り戻せる保証はありません。
9年前から始まった始祖奪還計画が返り討ちに終わり、超大型と目型を失ったようにな。
I know I've already praised the approach to exposition twice now, but let me do it one more time and then I'll move on. How it works so well here is that you can see why he would explain this, because it's all a part of the reason as to why he's saying no to Colt's plan, instead of spouting off a random, we went to war 6 years ago after blah blah blah, as though their fellow soldiers don't know about it. You see what I mean? Realistic showcasing of soldiers in a trench state of warfare, or any kind of warfare to be honest, shaking, eyes wide open in terror of their coming orders or incoming attacks. My god, that's terrible as was shown soldiers whose only purpose is to be human bombs. That's such a nice touch because it further demonstrates their oppressors' hatred for them and not seeing them as human. Then just quickly another one here for this incredibly sad scene, a man missing his wife, maybe children, as he knows he's rushing off to his likely demise. As a husband myself, not gonna lie, that's rough to watch. Awesome job right here of mixing in hand-drawn characters with CGI further down the line instead of spending so long doing all of them that you'd barely notice anyway. That's a very good use of CGI. Firstly, that was a lovely little bit of animation right there. Secondly, that was incredibly awesome, but what happens now? That was so great! Dear lord, I have missed Attack on Titan for glorious moments such as these. Incredible animation mixed with brilliant use of CGI as we witness a technically brand new Titan in the anime. Another beautiful bird's eye view of the battlefield and nearby locations. I'm really confused. This is like Reiner's dad or something, or am I completely off base? Just like the episode intros, I always find myself loving these as well, especially during the first season where you could pause and learn more about this new world if you wanted to, and you still can here. I'm going to be very careful with what I show here, but so far they've done an unbelievably good job of showcasing to us the viewer a war scenario that appears very real, excellently animated, and the sound effects are awesome too. Amazing demonstration of Titan versus human power, especially when the enemy humans are using these old World War I type of rifles, and the Titan can sweep across the battlefield causing devastation in seconds. Oh my god, that's so outrageously awesome! Oh hell yes, that gets one all day long for that zoomed out view of the battle at large. I hesitate to call it glorious since it's a war, but it really does look glorious in this anime. Man, these people have it so bad. Even someone he drags off the battlefield and saves talks to him like this. Okay, so people have mentioned CGI over on the Anime Sins version community tab announcement post, but honestly, if this is the worst of it, then I think genuinely it's great. I cannot understand why anyone would be opposed to this and how it looks so far. My issue with CGI is when it detracts from a scene because it sticks out like a sore thumb, and this most certainly doesn't, so no issue from me at all. Oh my god, I think I know what this is about, and purely because of the looks on their faces, it just really reminded me of Titans, but let's wait and see. But the amount of hype I'm feeling right in this is insane right now. Simply put, that was utterly outstanding right there, and it easily earns them the first very rare Maximum 2 Wins award. I'm blown away by how awesome it looked as a visual spectacle, but also how clever it is as a tactic of war in this situation. I can't show it for obvious reasons, but it was weirdly great to be back watching Titans eat some humans. That sounded really weird, but I'm sticking with it. Again, I can't show it, but they demonstrate how their enemy really does have access to incredibly powerful anti-Titan weaponry, mowing them down so effectively. The return of Reiner! So that was actually Reiner! How did Reiner end up there? Reiner! Bruh, if that's CGI, that's some great CGI. Friggin', again I can't show it, but a new armoured train took his hand off and my jaw is like on the floor. So I'll just quickly and finally address the CGI concern again here, unless something pops up later that needs further addressing, but people shouldn't forget that Season 2 of Attack on Titan also heavily featured CGI on the Colossal Titan. This isn't something new that the new studio is doing exclusively, sometimes it's just needed. Emergency plot twist! Take cover! I love that delay before the shots hit. It just further adds to making it all feel real, like they really are giants, and I've been praising that element to the anime since season 1, and this just adds to it. Ah yes, a very much enjoyable ED here, great catchy song if ever there was one, accompanied by really lovely calming visuals as we exit the horrible reality of war from the episode itself.
我々が巨人の力を過信し Such
a huge fan of world building like this. Even the small things, like a soldier keeping his eye on the window next to him when the shadow of a bird goes past, or the broken glass and debris in the room.
今こそパラディ島作戦を再開し、始祖の巨人奪還を急ぐべきです。
Dio being in this anime is always going to result in a win. It's simple maths, really.
そうだな。残りの1年の命をもって。4年前の雪辱を果たしたいというわけか。
Oh yeah, I did also forget to mention that I am now aware of the time jump element to the anime, so it all makes sense now, and it's leading me to all kinds of excitement, wondering what's been happening with Eren and his crew in the past 4 long years.
悪かったな、コルト。お前を出しにしちまって。
いえ、素晴らしかったです。
Not working on the spot when it really wasn't needed, and they could have been lazy and done a zoomed-in walking shot.
島を攻めるには戦艦の支援が必要になるだろう。
ええ。そして何より。
Rotating view like it's no big deal whatsoever.
ええ。そして何より敵の脅威は巨人だけじゃない。
Oh, they remember very well Mikasa and Levi. God, I can't wait to see them.
いや、だが全身のユミルって女のことは少しわかる。大層な名前を付けられた哀れな女だ。
Oh, so that's what happened to her. So she's officially gone now. I couldn't quite recall what happened after she left with Reiner at the end of season 2. That's a shame. I did always like her, but take a win here for this excellent world building scene, putting some parts of the puzzle back together for me.
ブラウンさんなら大丈夫だ。分かってる。俺は
One thing that some anime are starting to do nowadays is this, having 2 conversations on the go at the same time, since naturally in real life it's rarely the case that a group of people stick to one topic from start to finish, taking turns to talk. It just adds further realism, basically.
本国に戻ったら巨人兵器の非人道性を訴えるマスコットにされる。そしたらエルディア人の立場はますますひどくなる一方だ。世界の皆さん。
Jesus! That was a stupid amount of frames in that one scene to animate this dude being kind of annoyed.
ああ、みんなも無事だったか。ガビ、ウド、
まあね。
ゾフィア。
普通です。
Another thing some of my favourite anime do, and Attack on Titan has always done this, is having us feel some sympathy towards the enemy. Here they once again start that process by showing us this side to a now older Reiner who hasn't got much time left in general.
待って。
That was brilliant! Him seeing his old friends. It also tells us that his PTSD is worse than ever as he seems to float between reality and the past. That was like legit haunting right there.
今宵だけだ。目をつぶろう。
今お前なんて言った。9つの巨人を継承する名誉を冒涜したのか。お前がガビを救い出すんだ。この真っ暗な俺たちの未来から。
He really had me going in the first half, I'm not gonna lie. Man, Reiner is really an enigma that I can't quite figure out right now. Does he want to help her, or did he have a mad 5 minutes where he wasn't sure what was going on? Help me! Awesome looking city scenery shot that must have taken ages to put together. Oh, it's gonna be really hard seeing them fight Eren and everyone else in the future when you're showing me scenes like this. Why are you gonna be doing that? Why? This kid is a nice kid, and I'm really wondering what his potential plan is going to be, especially since when he got off the train he thought to himself whether or not Reiner could be trusted. Very intriguing.
狙った通り、走行列車は脱線してひっくり返った。作戦大成功。 でも敵は逃げ去る私に機関銃を撃ってきた。鉛玉を。
What is with all of the frames in some of these scenes? It's crazy!
そんな悪党だが、さすがにまずいと思ったのが、芋を半分譲ると言った。しかし、差し出した芋は半分には到底満たないものだった。便所に入るなりどっちを出しに来たのか忘れるバカだったり、自分のことしか考えてねえ不真面目なやつに、人のことばっかり考えるクソ真面目なやつ。
I know all of these references is what I want to say in a happy tone, but I'm really weirded out by the scene and how Reiner is approaching it. Like, the story he's telling clearly isn't one of Devil's. Man, he's a tough character to get your head around.
そこにいた日々はまさに地獄だった。
いろんな奴らって何？悪い奴らでしょ。
そうだよガビ。島にいるの。
The weather effects in this anime are probably among the best I've ever seen, no joke. And before you rush off to the comments to tell me to watch some other anime, just keep in mind I have a Patreon and my patrons decide everything that I cover, this anime included. Join up for $3 and get a vote and exclusive videos though!
私にはわからないけど、カリナおばさんにはわかるみたいだったよ。
Lightly touching on the lasting effects of the war on the soldiers who have returned home. Those earlier on, frightened of every sound, clearly suffering from what was known as shell shock years ago, and now a man who jumped from his roof during the night.
潜水の巨人を管理するタイバー家。
確かにタイバー家は一度も巨人の力を敵国に向けたことがない。
The Warhammer Titan? Get out of town! Let me see it right now!
祖国マーレの未来のために今一度皆の心を一つにしよう。ガリアードは多少不満があるようだが、まあ。
俺はまた行くのか。あの島へ。
They're listening in on their conversation and they think they might have picked up on Zeke giving away that they're listening, and now Reiner is watching the kids fighting and knowing he's going to be going back to the island and I can't take it anymore!
エルディア人と一緒にはいられないんだよ。マーレ人に生まれていれば。
Ridiculous levels of character building here, even for an enemy like Reiner, getting to see him as a child and the woe he and his people had to live with their entire lives because of the war.
お前はエルディア復権派の残党か。はあ？俺が隊長に報告してやる。てめえ、叫んな。
Also, definitely take a win here for showing everyone else as kids, and potentially even more importantly as witnessing Reiner's original state of mind growing up, which clearly shows just how insanely torn he is in life, growing up every day hating the island and its people, fueling his drive to become a Marleyan so he can reunite his family, and then basically fully becoming one of the islanders before betraying them. He's a hell of a character, really. Roughly 2 minutes of recap giving us a full demonstration of each Titan, their unique abilities alongside who was chosen to take on each of them and why, helping to refamiliarize us with them moving forwards.
ここで母さんとカリナ・ブラウンと出会った。ほら見てよ。僕と母さんは名誉マーレ人になったんだ。
あの女に言われてきたんだろう。俺に復讐するために。お前らエルディアの悪魔の親子から。
Still going all in on the excellent character building for Reiner, and in all honesty, it's so damn refreshing after so many episodes and seasons of secrets surrounding these characters, where we could only guess and theorize why they act the way they do, and now we're finally getting glorious and much needed answers.
なんで謝るんだよ。
Like, why was he apologizing? Also, can we just give credit where it's due for the fact that this scene was in like season 2, I believe, and yet now all of this time later, we're seeing the character himself and how it all went down. It just feels like in some cases mangaka aren't always able to lay out their story in advance this nicely, but here it's done shockingly well. I'm not showing it because of copious amounts of internal body juices being found on Reiner's noggin, but man oh man, that was an intense scene as Annie kicked the juices out of him, and then he rose up and jumped her out of nowhere, sort of starting the process behind Reiner's multiple personality disorder kind of deal. Really ran out of oxygen there at the end.
なんで謝った？なんで俺なんかを助けた？嫌だ。まだ終わりたくない。まだ何も分かってないんだ。
It's so crazy for me to see it from this perspective now, because at first they were vicious enemies hell-bent on destroying mankind, and now they were kids with their own problems, their own dreams, being persecuted back home and forced into wars. I honestly cannot express just how impressed I am with the storytelling as a whole thus far. I'm really blown away.
妹に誓ってねえな。そいつは俺が一番笑えない冗談だ。
ひどいよ。パパ！
今日もすごいな。この足の感じだと今日は雪か。
いや、この上半身は晴天だ。
ひょうってことにしとけ。
That!
集めた情報を持ってマーレに帰ろう。どんな情報でも歓迎してくれるよ。
本当にそう思っているのか。この5年の成果を持ち帰ればマーレは失望するだろう。ウォールローゼを破壊する。始祖の巨人をあぶり出す手段は。
On top of win number 73, I'm very much enjoying how they're moving along the series of events we've already seen and filling in alternate events that these three spies were going through during the same period of time, also filling in blanks as they go. For example here, finally understanding properly why 5 long years passed between the big attacks.
それしかねえだろ。
そうだよな。
Let's go ahead while we're at it and drop a win here for the amazing voice acting in the anime in general. The voice actor for Eren is one of my favourites, so it reminded me here. But yeah, they're all great.
このままじゃダメだ。
Why are you always constantly making me feel stuff for Reiner all of the time? Have you no shame with your clever writing and storytelling and stuff?
それは希望かもしれないし、さらなる地獄かもしれない。それは進み続けた者にしかわからない。
Excuse me, but is that Eren?
マーレ軍ではありません。タイバー家に属するこの衛兵です。
どうぞ。
Oh, this dude is huge! And they're wearing different armor and helmets and colors to their military, and obviously they're a huge deal, and this season is getting so good it's making me crazy!
実際マーレ人に弾が耳の横をかすめる音を聞かせたところで、この国は自戒するまで戦争への歩みを止めないでしょうが。
So I'm not saying that this dude is a good dude at all, but he's certainly an interesting character worth looking into for his actions thus far. He was content with the young girl potentially sacrificing herself to save the lives of 800 of her own fellow soldiers. He then allowed them to drink and be merry together on the train ride home after the battle, and now he's even talking about conscription for his own people to make them understand war and what they're putting other people through. Just saying, having a character like him among everyone else is a really interesting choice.
ピーク何やってんだよ。
こっちの方がしっくりくるんだ。びっくりさせちゃった？
普通に立って歩けよ。
巨人は南からやってくる。その意識から壁の北側の山岳部に行くほど。
Oh, I'm a big fan of maps in anime, giving us a greater understanding of the world we're looking at.
おいチビども、今日はどうした？
ワルコが初めてガビに勝ったんだよ。
成績で？
もうやめてくれ。恥ずかしくなってきた。
すげえなそりゃ。次の鎧は坊主で決まりだ。
Also nice to see that they're not trying to paint the picture that literally every single one of them is a cruel person oppressing these people, as here is a good example of a soldier just chit-chatting with the kids, even laughing with them and encouraging them.
お前のためだよ。はあ？私の邪魔しといて私のためだって言いたいわけ？わけわかんないんだけど。
Her reaction is perfect here.
ここに世界の偉い人を集めてお祭りってのもやったら世界中が味方になるんだって。
Sometimes you see anime, and I'll admit it's a crazy tiny thing to complain about and or praise, but bear with me. Sometimes you see anime, and they'll have a massive meeting of people in a clearly way too tiny piece of land, but here they really went all out to demonstrate the lengths you actually go to when you want to arrange a massive gathering. You can just go ahead and file it under Attack on Titan, trying hard as always to achieve extra realism.
重すぎる。今すぐにでも手を離したいところだが、私はたまたまなんだ。たまたま順番が回ってきただけの男なんだよ。
Intriguing upon intriguing, as the leader of the nation, a man whose sister is capable of turning into a Titan herself seems to seriously lament his position in life right here. It's very odd, but it's another character and angle that I very much look forward to analysing further.
あの日息子は妹を連れて壁を出た。私が普段から厳しくしすぎたんだ。医者をつけと。
Oh, Eren's talking to his own grandfather! Also, poor old man! That's so sad! Even in a scene as simple as this, they decided to pour on the animation goodness like a bunch of legends.
申し訳ございません。
ご婦人、いかがなされました？
お恥ずかしい。ワインを着物にこぼしてしまいまして手を借りていましたの。ど
うして？
あなたがどんな目に遭うかわからないでしょう。
No word of a lie, got kind of emotional watching this nice lady do this for him. Sounds really stupid.
その回答を明日、私が初演出を務める舞台で披露させていただきます。
This could either be extremely bad or extremely good, and I cannot wait to find out which. Let's go ahead and do this together. Take my hand, let's go. Multiple moving characters within one scene. You'd be surprised once you look out for it, just how many anime show like one person moving when there's this many on screen, or just play music over a still image or something.
ガビ！やっと起きたか！この状況は何？祭りだよ！食え！これが祭りか！行くぞ！
These kids' excitement at like the first really amazing thing that's ever really happened to them.
Eren.
Oh my god, I freaking knew it!
よう、4年ぶりだな、ライナー。お前もここで話を聞くんだ。
マルコ、言う通りにするんだ。
Oh, it's so very intense!
しかし、まさかこの収容区で宣戦布告を行うことになるとはな。
すごい、カルビー元帥まで来てるよ。マーレ軍の中枢が収容区に揃うなんて。
Wait, what? They declared on who? This is probably one of the best scenes I've witnessed in the entire anime thus far. That's right, all 4 seasons in terms of building tension. It is insane, especially when you factor in Eren down below acting as a potential bomb if Reiner doesn't do as he says.
敵のいなくなったエルディア帝国は同族同士で殺し合いを始めました。巨人大戦の始まりです。
Oh, I've wanted to know all of these kinds of details forever. A great Titan War. That sounds so amazing. It's proper history within an anime. I love history. I love Attack on Titan, and they look like Romans.
こんな日までお勤めご苦労。
そんなピークさんこそ今日はご機嫌なんですかね。どうした？
いやー、車力の巨人と運命を共にする彼らとは絆が大事でね。
Another example of humans getting along with those of Titan blood. Again, just putting it out there really helps to build the world and its people rather than having absolutely everyone treat them like dirt.
マガト隊長はどこに？
パルコ！
Oh, this is so good. This is stupidly good. It should be ashamed of itself.
さて、ここまで語った話は誰もが知る事実ですが、真実とは少々異なります。
No joke, that is probably the single greatest looking hand-drawn crowd I've ever witnessed. That is shockingly great right there.
今からおよそ100年前、巨人大戦を終わらせたのはヘイロスでもタイバー家でもありませんでした。あの戦争を終結させ、世界を救ったのはフリックス王なのです。
Oh my word. Okay. Don't know what to say. Take a win and let me continue. And no lie, it's nearly 2 AM and I want to sleep, but I need to see more of this.
人類はただ終末の足音に震え逃げ惑うのみ。あらゆる都市や文明は踏み潰され、文字通り 全ては平らな地表と化すのです。
This entire speech, what's happening down below with Eren, and the start of this classic song is completely boiling my brain. I cannot take this build-up and anticipation.
お前たちは壁の中にいる奴らは悪魔だと教えられた。まだ何も知らない子供がそう叩き込まれた。
I literally don't now even know what's actually going to happen. Now I keep seeing soldiers running around, and Eren did mention getting word out to his comrades, so clearly something is going to go down. But what? I have no idea, especially given Eren's words here.
違うんだエレン。マルセルが食われて兄とベルトルトは作戦を中止して引き返そうとしたのに俺が悪いんだよ。お前の母親が巨人に食われたのは俺のせいだ。
It's actually really refreshing to see Reiner accept this and take on the responsibility that comes along with it for once. Since before now he's seemingly been hiding behind a veneer of duty, family, and everything else.
俺は進み続ける。気を駆逐するまで。宣戦布告を。
Oh, hell yes! Okay, so for starters, I'll state it's incredibly sad that the young boy seemingly got taken out, and a very sweet end for Reiner, again seemingly taken out, trying to save the boy before Eren turned. But that scene, the build up to it, the declaration of war on the surface mixed with the declaration of war underground, was nothing short of perfection, and for that they're getting the maximum 2 wins award.
だが、見るべきは足元だった。気づいた時には敵は海を渡り、 我々の首元まで迫っていた。危惧すべきはパラディ島勢力の協力者の影だな。
This changes things, and again it continues to raise the tensions for the scene which ended the incredible 5th episode, since we now come to understand that they were aware that not only had enemies crossed the sea already, but that they had also begun to plan an attack during the speech.
エルディア人は悪魔の末裔に違いありません。そして私たちは 悪魔に違いない。
Like I said before, he's not a good man, but he speaks the truth, even if it angers others such as this, and I love the mangaka for creating non-one-dimensional characters such as him and Reiner. Oh my god, he just body slammed all of those officers in the stands!
Sophia... ソフィア大丈夫か？ソフィア！
I kind of see what the mangaka and animators have done here, and I think it's absolutely genius, because essentially they spent 5 long episodes introducing us to these characters, having us connect with them and feel for them, showing their pain, joy and sadness. Now they're showing us the good guys from the past 3 seasons utterly wrecking all of them in cold blood, and it almost now feels like they are the bad guys. Or perhaps at the very least what the general said just now was spot on. They're the spawn of the devil, but there's no doubt that they too are the devil. In other words, it's starting to feel like there's no real good guys anymore. I'm not going to show it, but take a solid win here for going against the standard anime grain and having Eren attack this enemy titan during its transformation, wherein in every other anime I feel like they'd randomly and patiently await them fully turning before engaging in a battle. Oh, what a spectacle that was. Just a shame. I feel I won't be able to show all that much, but take a win for that distant view to start off. It looks so cool. This being pretty much the same visuals as Eren saw as a child when Reiner and crew attacked makes this even better, and somewhere out there is a real sense of irony.
待って、ポルコ。少し様子を見てから。
なんだ？
まさかそんなわけが。
Ah, that's so awesome! Get out of here with that! Their arrival on the scene is the single only other element I was hoping for to make this episode even greater than it is already set to be. The Warhammer Titan!
何としてでもここで戦鎚に食わせる。我々はその補助に徹するのみだ。しかし
Attack on Titan has always had some brilliant sounding music, and it seems that Season 4 is no exception, as this banging and emotional tune plays in the background, really hyping me up for battle.
簒奪者エレン・イエーガー、最後に言い残すことはありますか？
今だ、ミカサ。
For that outstanding scene, I cannot not give another Maximum 2 Wins award right there. It was smooth, it was tasty, it was hyped by the music and the setup and the explosion, and best of all, it was the damn return of Mikasa. That gets the award all day long, and I'm honestly feeling so blessed being able to witness this outstanding episode and cover it for all of you. Then they also came up and attacked from the rear as well, and it looked brilliant, and of course it's becoming incredibly clear now that they haven't got much of a chance against their military gear while in the city. Getting to witness street warfare, something I never once envisioned happening before now. It feels like a weird futuristic version of World War II out there. That awesome move there by my wife's husbando Jean, and the one bit of CGI I heard people complaining about. Like, bruh, if that's all you've got to complain about, you really shouldn't be complaining in the first place. Just enjoy the awesome spectacle in front of you that is this episode. Also, big shout out to their new gear. Looks so cool. They look like Spec Ops or something. It's nuts.
あなたは民間人を殺した。もう取り返しがつかない。
Mikasa's lovely reaction here to the carnage, since obviously she does still love Eren, and she knows that what he's done now is something that he can never take back and probably not ultimately live with.
だが奴は死んでない。
A friggin' crossbow-related change of weaponry plot twist of concern and worry!
モンペイのおじさん、私も戦うから通して。
バカ言ってんじゃねえぞガキ。お前は家に帰って。
One final win for this guy. Just like I mentioned before, he's one of the few who doesn't just default to treating them all like dirt, but here actually shows care for her, which is really nice to see. It's so hard to see this. I literally just praised him, and then two characters that I adore came along and ruthlessly took them out. It's so poetic ultimately and difficult to put into words. Like I said before, it's the irony of becoming the thing that you hated perhaps, or maybe as well it's just next level storytelling, like I said before, in how they spent so much time expertly building these characters and making us feel for them, only to tear them down by our own heroes' hands.
この道も塞いだ。行くぞサシャ。コニー、明かりを灯すことをお忘れですか？
Also though, Connie and Sasha. I missed this type of imagery so much it's not even funny. All I can say is I love that. I really do.
うなじからではなく、ステージ中央の地面からだ。
Eren, you clever boy you. Take a win for that little plot twist. That's brilliant, and we've never before seen a Titan not controlled from the nape. That's insane.
なんだ、髪切れねえ。
Ah! This is everything. Entire scene, my god.
今のこいつがまさかバカな。
It's friggin' Levi! Oh hell yes, I can't take it. It hurts.
人間の
姿のまま俺を殺す気か。これがパラディ島の悪魔。
This guy's thought process, which is so spot on because he has no clue that these men and women have been fearlessly fighting Titans for years and years, and of course every foe he's fought has been instantly scared. Ah, damn it, again? Plot twist! Also though, this is perfect, because it was really starting to look like a one-sided fight until these machine guns came into play, especially when it's aboard a Titan such as this one capable of climbing and such. Really awesome environmental effects. Some of them they would just go for smoke since it's the easiest method to demonstrate damage without showing anything else, but here we get details like you'd find in Cowboy Bebop.
やはりこの重機関銃武装は立体起動にとって天敵。時間を使った甲斐はある。
Them adding in that the reason she was late was because she was putting on that heavy cart gear. My word, who would have seriously thought that within such a small time frame they could not only match them in battle, but even start to turn the tide? Now she's taken Eren out of the game for a moment, the Cart Titan is doing her thing, and the Beast Titan shows up. Outstanding! I love how calm Levi is, smiling all like, really? This guy again?
逃がすな。殲滅しろ。
死ぬな。生き延びろ。
These two conflicting orders, Levi remaining calm and giving his men and women an order to remain alive as he leads the charge, giving them nothing but pure confidence. Oh my god, he's still alive, and he saved the boy just in time as well. This lad, man, I'm genuinely so happy that he's okay, and wow, this is truly such a great season. This 15-second long one-shot type of scene.
副長、ごめんなさい。俺のせいで。生きてる。でも。
They've actually managed to make me happy to see that he's alive, and let me tell you something, that is quite the feat, and it was only achieved by the tireless efforts to build him up as a sympathetic character to us over the past 6 episodes, and now I'm willing him to both live and to want to live. It's so conflicting and was expertly done, truly.
戦士長の背後は私たちが守るよ。
直上！
射角が！
This feels awful to me, like sick to my stomach. It really reminds me of the first large battle they fought during the first season where Eren was eaten and they were taken out so easily by the Titans, and I'm getting that exact same vibe right here.
俺はまだだけどな。
Oh, that's so awesome, and it's amazing to see Eren not only do something so cool, but also use his head like this, figuring out her weakness and his strength during a situation like that.
大丈夫なのか？怪我は？
ありません。
ならば急いでここから離れろ。ぼさっとするな。お前たちはここから逃げろ。
Again, I feel the need to point out his unique character. Like, obviously a big part of it is wanting to protect their military investment, but at least to a small degree it definitely also feels like genuine care of them. Let me know your thoughts down below though. Oh my god, it's freaking Armin! My jaw is on the floor. My jaw is on the floor. Okay, composing myself. I cannot believe how quickly Levi launched that powerful attack. It was unreal, and that music as well. Combined, it makes for a hell of a scene. gonna lie to you, ladies and gents, I legit freaked out a little watching that. It's simply put one of the best scenes I've ever witnessed, and a prime candidate for a maximum 2 wins award yet again. Kicking things off with using music from season 1, ideal choice in my eyes, to the high quality animation, the choosing of the unique angles like this rotating view, the sound effects when she bats the missile away, and then Sasha taking out their gunman, also taking away their sense of invincibility inside there, leading to her losing her cool and them ultimately taking all of them out. Utterly outstanding. Again, I'm unable to show it, but they link back to what I was saying during episode 6 about similar visuals as we witness a young child crying among the rubble, just like we saw back in the first episode of season 1, as the same Titan, now under a new owner, causes the same devastation there now, and then Armin says as much himself. Gene's still going through his own internal struggles as he makes the choice, I believe anyway, to attack through the kid in order to achieve the objective, which links back to struggles he faced during the 3rd season. Hanjay, and they got a big old airship and Armin is safely on board and they're following the lights that they laid out before and I don't know what's gonna happen! Basically, you know the drill, lots of limbs off, but Mikasa and Eren take out this Titan in a gloriously gory fashion that's highly deserving of a win. Her voice acting is superb here, can't say much else. She's overcome by anguish seeing them lose the Warhammer Titan to Eren and almost Galliard too. Just like I mentioned in episode 6, it feels so weird to be half rooting for these kids now, but I can't help it. That's what they've achieved and I don't hate it at all. In fact, I envy being able to invoke these emotions from me. That looks different! Yet another very clear example for me of CGI that looks so good you'd think it's hand-drawn, especially the midsection of the punch.
Reiner, matana.
I gotta say, not hating it one little bit that Reiner is being kept alive in this anime. Like I said before, he's become an insanely interesting character through all of that expert character building this season. Gorgeous little bit of animation right there. I love stuff like this because they give us great clues as to how the characters are feeling, such as the dead behind the eyes of Armin, whereas before they were bright and full of life, but also Mikasa quickly angering, but then just as quickly calming down, showing that she herself has serious reservations about the things that Eren has done. I'm always talking about hating exposition, and this right here is a great example of why, because it really detracts when done poorly from the story, whereas here, I'm able to writhe in metaphorical agony about why he's being treated like this. Oh, I love this friggin' anime so much!
のエルディア人の腕章を誇れる時が来るとそう信じていたから頑張ってこれたのに全て壊された。何もできないまま、なんでこんなことをされたのかわからないまま。
On top of this awesome music, I wanted to add that I had seen some people taking aim at her as a character, and that I don't quite understand. I found her to be intriguing, and here she lays out pretty much the exact reason why I found her to be that way, in terms of how hard she fought to change things for her people, and how brutal the realization now is that all of that was for nothing, and may even get worse as a result of that battle. I see her as a character who is quite indicative of the Eldian people's story at large.
いや、もう登ってくるはずだが。
しっかりしろ。おい。
Well, that is absolutely gut-wrenchingly horrible. That music, their reactions, and the scene itself really got me bad.
ライナーら戦士隊撤退以降、パラディ島へ向かった最初の調査船団のメンバーでした。
行方不明の調査船か。
彼女は信奉者でしたから。
ガビ、ファルコ。
Outstanding bloody plot twist! Don't know what now!
それで全ては計画通りってわけですか、GQA が。
大筋は良かったが、誤算は多々あった。
何この子たち。
誤算だ。
I'm sorry, you can go right on ahead and take 2 wins for this. It truly deserves it for being one of the greatest plot twists I personally have ever witnessed. You got me! You really, really got me!
その余波で獣が予定より多めに石つぶてを俺たちにくれてやったわけか。道家にしては大した即興劇だった。
そう睨むなよ、リヴァイ。小便ちびったらどうしてくれんだ。
I'm literally dropping a win on this purely because I think he's being entirely truthful.
サシャが死んだ。
Gonna go ahead and drop a final win for the end to this most incredible episode. Solid animation, brilliant continuation of the story, gut-wrenching heartbreak, and a truly amazing halfway point. Again, please be sure to subscribe if you're not already and hit the bell to not miss out on part 2. Don't forget that if you love my work and want to support what I do, I have a Patreon link down below and any pledge is really appreciated, so check that out if you like. And thanks so much for joining me on the start of this journey, and I very much hope to see you in the next video.
Nathan Byrne, Bird Without a Word, Aidan White, PK Fan, Ali 50, Ryan Anderson, Isael Caldera, Chris Harris, Yona Stahl, Manolo Saucedo Munoz, Luis Hernandez, Kim Munt, Jason Davies, Yuki Ali, Manuel Morales, Dark Lord Bloody Soul, Blitzcloud, Aurakeeper, Steelers, Kimi O, Sentimento, Jeffer6263, Master Tank, Kevin Nauta, Brendan Krier, Storm 970, Mr. Waffle 64, Kaj Vozelman, Jordan Samuels, Sean Graves, The Epic Commander, Crimson Shadows, Kyle Farmer, Buzzbomb 3000, Adora Blue.